Jake awoke to the familiar buzz of his phone. A text message from his best friend Mark popped up. "Hey Jake, remember you promised to help me move today." Groggily, Jake replied, "Of course, see you at 10. Internally, he groaned. He had plans to finish a project, but the thought of disappointing Mark was unbearable. Throughout the day, this pattern continued. At Mark's, he strained his back lifting furniture, but pushed through the pain. Mark's girlfriend commented on how helpful Jake was, but Jake's internal voice remarked, "She's just saying that because she feels bad for you." At lunch, a colleague asked if Jake could cover a shift next week. Without hesitating, he agreed. He felt a sharp pang of resentment, but suppressed it. "If I say no, he'll think I'm selfish," Jake thought. In the evening, Jake's mother called, hinting that he should visit more often. Guilt gnawed at Jake's insides. "I'm a terrible son," he thought, promising to come over the next weekend. Later, during a date, his partner shared her dreams of traveling. Jake, afraid of expressing his fear of flying, enthusiastically agreed to potential trips. He felt like a fraud. "She'll leave if she knows the real you," his inner voice whispered. As Jake listened to her excitedly detail their potential adventures, a wave of guilt washed over him. While he wasn't wildly passionate about her, the idea of being alone terrified him more. Every nod and fake smile he gave, a stab of dishonesty pierced him. The thought of revealing his true self was daunting. She'll never understand. She'll leave, he feared. He clung to this relationship, a safety net against loneliness, even if it meant suppressing his own desires and feelings. He found himself yearning for genuine connection, but paralyzed by the possibility of isolation. Every yes and forced smile was a shield, defending him from the harsh reality of being truly seen and potentially left alone. He was trapped in a cycle of compromise, giving up pieces of himself to fit into a mold he believed would make him loved. By night, Jake was exhausted, not from activities, but from the emotional toll of suppressing his needs and desires. He confided in a friend about the exhaustion of pleasing everyone. His friend replied, "Man, just be yourself." But Jake wondered, who am I without the validation of others? At home, Jake stared at his reflection, seeing a mosaic of the people he tried to please. His true self was buried underneath. Would they still love me if I wasn't constantly bending over backward for them? He pondered. Before sleep, another text buzzed. Mark thanking him for the help. Instead of the expected warmth, Jake felt cold, hollow. Does he like me for me, or just for what I do for him? He questioned. Sighing, Jake placed his phone down, the weight of his choices pressing on him. The realization that he was more in love with the idea of being loved than understanding his worth was heart-wrenching. Each notification wasn't a beacon of connection, but a reminder of his self-inflicted prison. As Jake lay in bed, the room darkened by night's embrace. His phone lit up repeatedly, casting fleeting shadows on the walls. Each buzz was like a jolt, a painful reminder. One from a coworker. "Jake, you promised you'd send that report today. Where is it?" Another from an old friend. "Thought you'd call. Feeling pretty low. Needed you." And yet another. "Jake, you said you'd be there for me. Why weren't you?" A sinking feeling enveloped him. Amidst the chaos of trying to appease everyone, he had forgotten to submit a crucial report at work. He felt the weight of unfulfilled promises, the pain evident in the words of the messages. Each unread text felt like an open wound, reminding him of the cost of his internal struggle to be everything to everyone. Jake's mind churned with frustration. Why does everyone demand so much? Can't they see I'm stretched thin? Why can't they understand? He thought bitterly. He felt cornered, as if everyone was taking pieces of him, leaving him fragmented. The resentment bubbled, but deep down there was another voice, one filled with self-doubt. Maybe I'm just not good enough. Perhaps I'm the problem. The weight of these thoughts pressed heavily on his chest, a constant war between anger at the world and the nagging feeling of inadequacy within. For once, he wished to break free, to be himself without fear. But fear gripped him tighter, the voices louder. You're not good enough. They won't love you for you. Closing his eyes, he dreamt of a world where he could express himself, where he didn't feel like an actor in his life's play. Then Jake suddenly reached over to his phone and began to send a text message to himself. Just writing me a message that is also for you, just to say I love you. I know everything seems upside down, and maybe that is the way things are sometime. You remember that one time when more than 2 times you didn't think you would make it through, then 3 times, a 4, and after multiple times, better things ensued. This is the to the future me and the current us that want to never give up when things aren't the best. Despite feeling like nothing to no one and barely catching your breath, you will find rest. Get some shut-eye and not truly knowing why you have fires ablaze in your heart. Just know you can't be everything to all while being no one to yourself. And as dawn broke, a resolve stirred within him to embark on the most challenging journey yet, finding and accepting himself. If this narrative resonated with you, do support us. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe. Thank you for staying with us to the end. See you in the next video on Plaid Chronicles.